I just spotted some witch's butter. I have to get this. Oh, that is so amazing. Look. There are 3 types of mushrooms with the common name witch's butter, and all are generally considered edible. They look quite similar, and 2 of the 3 are practically identical. Yellow jelly-like fruiting bodies. The yellow jelly fungus are yellowish orange in color and found on hardwood trees with the bark still attached. They are parasitic of other mushrooms, specifically mushrooms that help decompose trees. For that reason, they're commonly found on downed hardwoods. Orange jelly fungus is much more orange in color, while the yellow jelly fungus grows on hardwoods with bark attached. The orange species grows on conifers such as pine and hemlock and prefers barkless pieces. Unlike the other 2 witch's butter species, it is not parasitic on other mushrooms, but rather is a wood decomposer. So yet all 3 are known as witch's butter. In the English woodlands, there is what's called black witch's butter, and it looks just like the orange and the yellow jelly fungus. However, it is, as you may have guessed, black witch's butter, often referred to as a survival mushroom that's available year-round, easy to identify, and you can just pop it in your mouth. Others say that it has to be cooked, either boiled or steamed. It quickly shrivels down to nothing if left on the counter after picking, though it will rehydrate quite quickly. Many foragers suggest cooking it into a soup for added nutrition, but there's plenty of different things you can do with it. Be creative, it's quite a versatile mushroom. There's a little bit of old folklore with this. Since orange witch's butter is a decomposer that often sprouts on barkless softwood after a heavy rain, it's not uncommon for it to sprout from exposed door frames. Historically, witch's butter sprouting from your doorframe was seen as a sign that your household had come under a spell, and stabbing the mushrooms with a sharp tool was the best remedy. There were also some cases where someone was considered accused of being a witch from having witch's butter growing on their house. And we all know where that led to. Jelly fungus has been used for medical purposes for a millennia as a means to improve breathing and circulation. Extended longevity is widely attributed to the consumption of this fungi over a long period of time. They stimulate the immune system, reduce inflammation, lower cholesterol, and are useful in the treatment of allergies and diabetes. It has been scientifically confirmed that they exhibit anti-tumor properties, and they could be used to improve immunodeficiency and to prevent senile degeneration of microvessels. Witches have long used fungi in their potions in Europe, and sorcerers and magicians in other cultures have also employed fungi. Witch's butter was typically used to deter malignant spirits and for healing, and they would make it into a gelatinous tea for healing of respiratory conditions. Some would also place the dried mushrooms, the dried fungi, on their altar for healing energy and peace. Remember, save some on here so it'll set off spores so more will grow. This is such a wonderful find. Witch's butter.
Witch's butter.
I was trying to save half for wifey. Doesn't taste like much, but it's really good for you. Just like a bland jelly.
If any of you have ever put that space ooze kind of stuff in your mouth when you were a little kid, it kind of has that consistency.
I am so excited that I found some witch's butter.
It's really cool, actually. So in case you haven't noticed, she's the Green Witch.
So, but they're so good. They're so good, and you can eat them raw. We got it in this water because they will dehydrate. I'm sorry. They'll dehydrate really quick and dry up really quick without being hydrated. So, and they only grow when it's like heavy rain. You're making it hot. I don't want to cook it.
I'm not cooking. I'm making the light.
So, they're in here to keep them nice and moist. Moist. But you can eat them raw. They're good, and they're so good for you, and they're really good for like respiratory stuff and everything. Lots of good nutritions. So today we are going to make a soup, and we're going to cook them in a soup.
Witch's butter soup.
Yes.
This is going to be a very magical dinner, wifey.
It will. Now we are ready to cook.
Yes.
Witch's butter soup. You can't have a soup without having some delicious sauteed onions and peppers and stuff. So I got that right here ready. I'm gonna put these into the pot.
There's carrots and onions, and there's green onions, there's celery, all sorts of wonderful munches and crunches.
Just a smidgen of olive oil in there. And yes, it's olive oil. I just call it olive oil because it's fun. Just gonna lightly saute the onions. I love the smell of sauteed onions. It's wonderful. And of course, you can always make your soups however you want to.
Abracadabra.
Chicken broth.
If you're interested in these bottles, I will put in the in the description below exactly what they are. It's a type of rice wine vinegar.
Alright. Chicken broth. Now, while that heats up, we are going to prepare some seasonings. Preparing our seasonings. We have here some Himalayan pink salt. Move that out of the way. We'll put a couple of chunks of that in there. Don't need much.
No.
We have some homemade Puget Sound sea salt. We made this sea salt ourselves from cooking the salt water down that we gathered. We did this last year.
We'll make a video of it, actually. That's a good idea. It's a very easy process. It just requires a bit of patience.
Some peppercorns, because you have to have pepper. Mustard seeds. I know you may think that's a little odd, but if you put a little bit of mustard seed into a soup, it is actually quite delicious.
Don't go to your local major grocery store for these products. Go to a smaller place. Go to a little mom and pop shop. Support local businesses.
Right, let's crush that up. This particular type of mortar and pestle is very coarse.
You have to rinse it after uses.
Yes, but the coarseness is what makes it so functional for seasonings. And now we're going to add our seasonings. This is going to be so tasty.
Everything's best with raw ingredients.
Now I have this dried shiitake mushroom, which is very, very good for a lot of health benefits. So I'm just gonna break a couple pieces off and put that in there. A couple bits of black fungus. We'll break off a couple of pieces of bladderwrack. dried bladderwrack.
You saw that in a previous video, link in the description.
Yes.
Once again, if you have a sensitivity or an allergy to iodine or shellfish, do not use the bladderwrack.
And a little bit of dried kelp. And I'm gonna throw in some regular mushrooms and some green onions because it is so tasty. One last little ingredient, just a little bit of filet. Now this is a special type of leaf that you can find in Louisiana. We'll let that cook down just a little bit before adding the witch's butter. Oh, this smells so good. That actually should be good enough. So let's go ahead and scoop out the jellies. Put the jellies in. And this will add some amazing nutritional and medicinal value to your soup. And like I said before, you can make your soup however you want to. If you have your own preferences.
Flavor is totally chef's choice.
And with the remainder of this water that's in we had these jellies soaking in, I'm gonna pour on top of our sticks and pieces in our circle, just in case there's any spores that are left floating around in there. I'm hoping to inoculate the barkless wood on our circle so we can make more jellies at home, which would be amazing.
Right.
So you could technically cook this in a lot of different ways. You can put it in different types of foods, stews, soups are really good for it. You can actually even batter and fry them if you really wanted to.
Yo, that could be interesting.
It makes it have similar consistency and flavor to calamari.
Yo, I love calamari.
But when you eat it raw, it doesn't really taste much like anything. It just tastes like a bland jelly.
It tastes like a soft gummy with it. Almost has the same taste as water.
So we're just gonna let that boil for just a moment. Look. Witch's butter soup.
No. Blessed it be.
Oh, that is so good though. But you got all that.
Charlie horse, oh, fuck off! And in typical wifey fashion, she's adding hot sauce.
Of course.
Okay, let's try this. Potential monstrosity, probably amazing, like all of wifey's cooking. Like, literally, I think in the damn near 2 years wifey and I have been married, she might have made one thing that I wasn't overly fond of. And so, yeah, it doesn't matter who you are or where you're from, my wife cooks better than yours. Sorry, it's just the facts. I don't write the rules. Anyway, there's jelly in there. I actually want some broth too, because I like broth. There we go. Oh, that is good. Told you. I don't like
so good.
Oof, that is really tasty. Witch's butter soup. Highly recommended.
Oh, more.
It's tasty. I'm glad you like it, baby. This is so good. Thank you for watching.
I tried it with the hot sauce. It's really good. Don't forget to like.
Like and subscribe and do all the stuff that Wifey says.
Social medias. Facebook channel or Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter sometimes. Share with your friends. Oh yeah, we've got the hiking videos over there.
And some more foraging videos over there. And you can subscribe to our channel down that way.
I did bet. Thank you so much for watching.